place very far from this world. And the only way you can get there is through music. Remember, only music can set you free and fill you with energy to life. Be prepared for a new music transformation, and in a moment, you will be transported to this place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
We are live. This is the Hip Hop Pharmacy, and I am your host, Rather Reflex. We are live, and this is an abbreviated show. I know some of you are like, well, why are you giving us a short show? Well, for those of you who are at the studio, guess what? I'm not at the studio. I'm actually dealing with a cold right now, but I will be at the studio tomorrow. And because I'm dealing with the cold, I almost didn't do this interview. I almost didn't do the show. However, y'all are my fans. Y'all are loyal, and for that I say thank you. So because I say thank you to you, and I promise you the Paula J. Parker interview, that's what we're going to play. I'm going to give you the Paula J. interview in its entirety. I'm not going to give you the whole show in its entirety, but I'm definitely giving you this interview. So, for those of you who are fans of Friday, for those of you who are fans of Tales from the Hood, if you are watching the Bounce TV hit show Family Time, you know Paula J. Paula J. Parker. Paula J. Parker gave you that line. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. Well, we giving you Paula J. Parker in the interview, on the show. That's what we do here on the Hip Hop Pharmacy. We give you the interviews that you come to expect. Sure, I may be under the weather. Sure, I may be a little on the sick side. But You want that interview? I'm giving you the interview. I'm giving you the whole enchilada. I'm hooking you up with that interview. Because this is what we do on the Hip Hop Pharmacy. Yes, this is what we do. I'm not going to let my people down. I'm not going to let y'all down with that interview. So, before we get into the interview, I'm going to get into this song real quick. This is 3D Not T, Glow Up, right here on the Hip Hop Pharmacy. And immediately after the song, we'll hit you with the interview. Y'all ready for this? Well, you know what to expect. You know what I give you. So, let's go.
Beware of the social climbers. Sometimes they don't love you, they just in love with the way that it feels to stand next to you. The way that people look at them when they see you with them. You gotta watch them. You can't get this glow, it's not transferable.
We are not adjacent. Made it out the streets with no abrasion. I think I deserve some salutation. Still run with some killers, so it's better watch your statements. I was selling bundles, no Brazilian or Malaysian. And my heart still vacant. If you want some love, go get facing. I ain't got the time or the patience. If it ain't about business, ain't no business conversation. Tell them that I'm busy, I'ma holler at them later.
Cause nigga, I done glowed up, watch me blow up. If you hating from the sidelines, I get no fucks. Bitch, I'm ballin' cause it's my time, I can't slow up. I got everyone on my line, tell them hold up. Wait a minute, I done glowed up, watch me blow up. If you hating from the sidelines, I get no fucks. Bitch, I'm ballin' cause it's my time, I can't slow up. I got everyone on my line, tell them hold up. Wait a minute, I done glowed.
I done glow, glory, hallelujah. I used to be on Delachey, serving all the shooters. Went from living like a felon to living like a legend. Put the city on my back and paper long as Chapatulas. Now they blinging my hotline, no more selling racks now. I'm playing the corners like stop signs. I pull up and what you cannot find. Tighten my circle cause most of the niggas be claiming they with you but not now. Secretly wanting your spot now. I'm smarter, I'm peeping the plot now. Cause nigga, I done glow. Shitting on my haters, someone pass me a commode. Selling everything but my pussy and my soul. And you only mad cause you can't walk in my soul. So focused on my goals, I swear only Lord knows. Do it for my city, I don't do it for a post. And all the niggas with me have been with me from the go. Come around during highs, disappear during lows. You just friendly cause my glow.
Wait a minute, I done glowed up, watch me blow up. If you hating from the sidelines, I get no fucks. Bitch, I'm ballin' cause it's my time, I can't slow up. I got everyone on my line, tell them hold up. Wait a minute, I done glowed up, watch me blow up. If you hating from the sidelines, I get no fucks. Bitch, I'm ballin' cause it's my time, I can't slow up. I got everyone on my line, tell them hold up. Wait a minute, I done glowed. 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 Wait a minute, I done glowed up. Watch me glow up. If you hating from the sidelines, I get no fucks. Bitch, I'm ballin' cause it's my time, I can't slow up.
This is the Hip Hop Pharmacy. I am your host, Rather Reflex. That was 3D Not T. Glowed up. Know how she get at. She got another album getting ready to drop. Strong actions. Make it all sorts of gangs. But without any further ado, because I'm aching all over my body, in pain all over my body, but I'm giving you that interview that your body and your ears need. You know her from the movie Friday. You know her from the movie Tales from the Hood. You know her from the hit Bounce TV show. You know her from that show Family Time on Bounce TV. Download Bounce TV's app from the Google Play Store, from Apple iTunes, and check out the brand new season premiere tonight, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what she do. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. Here she is, Paula J. Parker. Let's go.
Hi, this is Paula J. Parker, and you're listening to the Hip Hop Pharmacy with Ra the Reflex.
What's good, everybody? This is the Hip Hop Pharmacy, and I am your host, Ra the Reflex, and we have a special guest on the phone lines right now. I really don't have to explain who this woman is. You know, you ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. She delivered that line. You know.
I'm so sorry to everyone whose name is Craig. I know you heard it.
You can catch her on the Bounce TV hit show Family Time. It's the one, the only, Paula J. Parker.
Hi, Rod. Thank you for having me. Thank you. How you been?
I'm doing great. I'm sitting up here enjoying this Chicago attempt at weather. Well,
Cleveland, so I know what you do.
You know how that Midwest weather is, where your air conditioning and your heat is used in the same 24-hour time period.
That's a good thing.
So,
so go ahead.
We have one of the best female actresses out there. How can anybody not know that was a legendary line? When you think of the movie Friday, you think of that line and you think of Bye Felicia. So those are those lines, and it's not limited to Friday. Oh, it's not limited to Friday, because this woman's been acting for such a great length of time and done some great characters, some great acting, and she's far from finished. Because if you are a fan of Family Time on Bounce TV, oh, you're going to see her. Oh, you're going to see her. So,
you don't have the Bounce yet. Tell them they got to get it. I know you have it, right?
Oh, most definitely. You have to download the Bounce TV app from the Google Play Store, from Apple iTunes, if you do not have Bounce TV in your area. Because I know some people have satellite and it doesn't come through.
Yes, I know, which is terrible. But we're going to do something about that, because, you know, with Family Time and Bentley Kyle Evans' other shows, which is In the Cut, I hope you're watching that one, and the new one, Grown Folks, you know, he's making record-breaking numbers. So, you know, it's just a matter of time before you'll be able to find the Bounce on any cable network.
Almost
so
definitely.
Many blessings. Yeah, we're going into, like you said, we're going into, I think, our 6th season. So you guys have a lot of binging to do if you haven't been up on Family Time.
See, you can binge on Family Guy the same way y'all binge on some of those other shows. See, here, I'm going to put y'all up on game. I'm going to put you up on game. I sit here in my nice bedroom. You know, I go on the app. and then I pull up family time. I get my root beer. I get my sandwich. I sit there and I just coast.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Oh, I'm in Chicago. You got to get that Italian beef, just with the hot peppers.
Yes.
You know, you from the Midwest. You know about that. You know about that. They eating.
About good food, good pizza. Oh, fried chicken. Harold. I think Harold.
Oh yeah.
Get my chicken wings and fries when I come through your town.
Oh, we gonna have to go.
Without it.
We gonna have to go to Harold's with the mild sauce.
Okay.
But how long? You know, when was your first movie role? What was your first movie role?
Wow, my first movie role. I'm gonna have to say it's the tie because I booked, and booked means won or got the job of. It's a Hollywood term. So I booked Friday and Tales from the Hood in the same week.
Whoa.
So I shot them both within like the same month. So it just happened that Friday came out first. So it's hard to say which is my first because I shot them simultaneously. And the beauty of working that way was that, you know, Friday was a hood film. And everything about it was young, from our director, F. Gary Gray, to our the writer, who was Ice Cube and DJ Pooh. Every executive on the set was young, and it was like a big block party, honestly. And then, on the other hand, I was able to shoot Tales from the Hood, which was more, I guess, structured. We got there when we said we were going to get there, and we shot our day, and there was no hip-hop music playing in the streets. We weren't dancing and having fun. It was fun, but in a different way. I got to learn a lot about the industry through Tales from the Hood that I didn't get to necessarily learn from Friday, but I learned from Friday in a different way. Women like Nia Long, Regina King, Anna Maria Horsford gave me tips on how to move forward in the industry. And they're all still my friends to this day. So, and Rusty and Tales from the Hood. So my two films were so different, but I learned so much from each of them.
And that was a great thing because I've seen both movies, and you got so much different style from each movie. You know, I mean,
I thought it was going to be Tales from the Hood. That would be the one to blow up. Like, I had no idea Friday was going to do what it did in terms of, you know, creating the hood movie genre and, you know, changing the game.
Yes, when you think of Friday, if it wasn't for a movie like a Friday or even Boys in the Hood and Colors, you wouldn't have had Menace to Society, South Central.
Thank you. And all of those came before Friday. That we're standing on their shoulders, but we created the comedy. You know, that hood comedy, just flat out makes you laugh. You know, the movies that you just named, they were all considered dramas. And when we talked about Friday, when we talked about the hood and the Black diaspora, we never really talked about us as ourselves, as kids, as the youth and hip hop, and just being funny. You know, we never did that. You know, if we were making a hip-hop movie, it was like Crush Group.
Exactly.
It was about, you know, the culmination of how hip-hop became from, you can tell me about Crush Group, it's hip-hop pharmacy.
Exactly.
So, you know, we're both a part of that hip-hop generation. And, you know, we're standing on some of the movies that you named. Baby Boy. Baby Boy came after us, but I meant John in his first one that you just named, that had Cuba in it, and Nia, you know.
Right, Boys in the Hood.
I get mommy brain all the time. You know, in the hood, Boys in the Hood. That one is, you know, we're standing, that's where Ice Cube caught the bug. He caught the acting bug from John in doing that movie. So had it not been for that movie, you know, there would never have been the term Hoochie Mama, which they gave to Regina King in Boys in the Hood. And then I came along and I gave it a whole new spin. So, you know, I'm very thankful to have been a part of all of that, you know. And I did come in, you know, kind of at the end of that whole initial. I came after Menace to Society, but it was seeing movies like Menace to Society and seeing Jada do her thing that inspired me and let me know that I could do it as well.
Exactly. So now we look at these movies and your role in them and how you've worked with Ice Cube, you've worked with Chris Tucker, you was, like you mentioned, you looked at Cuba Gooding Jr., and now you're on Family Time with his brother.
Isn't life full circle?
And
I also got to do a film, and because of Family Time, and, you know, Cuba, I wasn't really on Cuba, Mr., you know, Academy Award winning, do a flip winner, his radar. So because I was working with his brother, I was able to do a film with him called King, A Life of a King. And you guys, if you haven't seen that, you really have to check it out. It's the true life story of a man who got kids out of the hood and got them full ride scholarships all over the world, actually, but mostly in the country, based on playing. He taught them how to play chess, and Cuba plays the you know, the title role, the king, and, you know, the man who taught these kids how to play chess and got our kids, you know, into schools like Ivy League schools all over on chess teams, and got them careers and taught them a game that really uses the mind and teaches you the art of war. So, you know, I got to work with Cuba and yeah, and I too. But, you know, Chris, I started in sketch comedy at the Apollo Comedy Hour, and then I did Townsend Television. So I knew Chris already. Chris has been doing his thing as a stand-up comedian like since I can remember, you know. So I had already known Chris and had worked with him, but in a comedy, a more stand-up way. So I was able to kind of help him into the swing of acting, because anybody, well, not anyone, everyone who does comedy cannot necessarily be a comedic actor. And a comedic actor, which is what I am, does not necessarily mean that I'd be able to do stand-up. I think I would, but I've never tried because it's so daunting. It's like just you and them. But I do theater. So, yeah, I had a good time working with Chris in that capacity, because I take credit for him, you know, doing so well because I gave him a few acting tips.
And you mentioned something that is very important, is that when you think of the hood genre movies, and most of them are dramas, but when you think of the hood, think of all of the great things that we also have done in the hood growing up, playing hopscotch on the block, chasing after that ice cream truck when you heard that Pop Goes the Weasel, or going to the corner store to get a quart of water. These are the things that not everybody who's not from the hood understands. And this,
right.
And you don't see that portrayed on TV anymore. You don't see that portrayed in movies, that, yes, black people are comical. We're funny. We have memories.
Right. In a good way, yes.
You know, I remember
I agree.
hearing, you know, growing up, and your parents said, get in the house before them street lights come on.
Thank you.
And people don't understand why those things happen. Those are those little gems, those little keys that we carry.
People also don't realize that these movies go around the world, you know, and for some people, you know, now it's in for Hollywood to hire English actors to play our world, you know, if it's not our history in our movies about slavery, it's in, you know, like the newest TV show that I'm watching right now. It stars an English boy as a pimp from the 70s. And it's just interesting to know that they watch Friday so that they could get, and I've had them come and tell me, like, I watched Friday so I could learn the swag. And I think it's something that cannot be learned. You can watch our movies all day long, but you're right. We're capturing a piece of the American Black experience. And it's something that can be shared, but it can't be stolen or learned or taught. It's just us. And you're right. We don't make those kind of movies anymore. And I'm glad that we did, or I got to.
Exactly. And when you said British actors who are portraying Americans, like one of my favorite shows that come on FX is Snowfall. And you have a British man playing a South Central drug dealer.
Yes. Yes.
So to have a British man playing a South Central drug dealer with a full South Central California 70s, 80s accent. And then you see him in interviews and he's completely British.
Right.
You know,
But in my opinion, there's still something missing. Like, what we have can't be taught. You can be a phenomenal actor, you can say the words right, but what we have can't be taught. And I can appreciate that in our American actors, So I'm totally on the, American actor, cast American, especially for historical films. Like, the show that I'm talking about that I watched, it also stars Method Man, and there's a striking difference between his portrayal of the 70s pimp and the English young man's portrayal. And, I'm not saying anything is wrong or bad or right. I'm just saying it's us.
Exactly.
You can see the difference. There's a softness to the young guy you're talking about in Snowfall that, I take as real because that's the context of the show. But in reality, I think he'd have been a little more thug. He'd have had a little bit more of a swag that, is just something that we created, through our experiences here.
You need to be on Snowfall. Give him some tips.
Oh, John ain't having me on Snowfall.
We're gonna start a campaign. Paula for Snowfall.
He did have me come in though, and I went heads up with Michael. Michael and I went heads up because she's also a Howardite. She's another one of the phenomenal actors that came out of my class. Michael Hyatt, Taraji Henson, Anthony Anderson, Puff Daddy, Wendy Raquel Robinson, Wendy Davis. The list goes on and on, but Michael is one of us too. So, I have to root Michael on because he definitely went heads up for that one.
And you just mentioned nothing but heavy hitters. And you're amongst those heavy hitters.
I got to keep up, I can't let my classmates see me sweat. So, I'm just trying to be like them when I grow up.
So, which brings us to your current role on Family Time. Now, tell us a little bit about your character on that show.
Well, I play Lisa, and Lisa Stallworth. Well, no, I don't think I'm a Calloway. Lisa Calloway, the Calloway sisters. Stallworth is Omar Gooding's character, and he and Angel, they play husband and wife, and they're literally my favorite couple on television. I like to say that we're the Cosbys if they were black. We make being bougie cool. Not that they didn't, because they really, really did. But I think we give it a little bit more of an edge. Like if someone is pregnant, it's them. They're pregnant. It's not our friend. We take it there. And it's that funny that you and I were talking about earlier. The funny of our experience. And I think you'll enjoy it because, just first and foremost, Angel has a Coke body shape. You don't see that on television. Just the image of her as a beautiful black woman married to this handsome black man, it's just beautiful in and of itself. And we've had, through the years, so many phenomenal guest stars. And, our mother is played by Lynn Whitfield, and it's just a lot of our brother-in-law is Chris Williams, and he'll be coming back this next season, and that's Vanessa Williams, the beauty queen brother. So, this season, you're hip-hop fans. We have Cool Mo D, old school coming on and showing us love. We had Salt and Pepper last season.
Oh.
Bentley Kyle Evans Jr., who is the creator of our show, as well as Martin. Remember the Martin Lawrence show?
Yes.
And their cousin, P. and Martin Lawrence. So Bentley just has the formula for funny, and he knows how to make things great. And I'm just thankful that he took the chance on me. And this show is basically the longest running job I've ever had. I'm in it till the wheels fall off.
When you think of Bentley, you mentioned Martin and the Jamie Foxx show and these shows that he was a part of. And now he's doing Family Time. He's also does the show Grown Folks. And
exactly, that comes on right after us. Yes, and In the Cut. Yes.
He does In the Cut.
That's not Bentley.
He is a master of capturing urban comedy. He has caught it. And I don't think there's anybody out there who can quite catch it and harness it in that bottle quite like he can. And when you think of the different people who came through his sitcoms, when you think of Martin Lawrence, when you think of Tisha Campbell or Carl Anthony Payne, when you think of even Jamie Foxx, when you think of all of these shows and the actors and everybody who's came through his sitcoms, it's important that we keep these programs on the air. It's important that we have them because we didn't really have a huge plethora of shows like this until back in the 90s when we still had UBN, when we still had the UBN network.
Right.
So
and the WB was ours, yes.
Right, we had the WB and the UBN network.
That used to be ours too, yeah. It started with WB because I was on the Wayans Brothers. So, I don't think people even give us credit for making the WB what it is today. They're sitting on Marlon and Sean's backs, and Fox is basically sitting on Keenan's back because he
in Living Color
and made in Living Color. So I don't think people give the Black experience the credit here in Hollywood that it deserves. We're getting it more and more, but it's shocking to know that out of all the movies that come out of Hollywood, only 3%, less than 3% are Black. So it's important that we have stations like The Bounce and that we support these apps and these stations because, we want to see us. If we don't make it, it won't get made. That's obvious. So, men like Bentley, it's very important that we give him a platform to show his art.
And without him showing his art, the good thing about when he shows his art, it opens doors for other people who are young film, right, who are inspired. It might be a time where we'll start seeing more sitcoms with Hispanics in it. You'll start seeing more sitcoms with Asians in it, which you don't see.
Yes, right. You're absolutely right. You don't see them as much as they would like to see them, and I would like to see them. I agree. You really don't. We're always token. Asian, Black people, we're always that friend. We're rarely that girl.
Exactly.
So, I agree. I would love to have a show on The Bounce that was Asian inspired or even, Latino or Latina inspired. We're doing ours because we created this land. We're next in line,
Exactly.
We earned the right to tell our story next. We're in this Black and white together, and now the world has opened up to so many different. There's so many other colors in between Black and white. There's brown and and so many, everything, from every, I can't even think of any other shades and hues, but you guys know what I mean.
Exactly.
So we have to open up our hearts and our perspective to tell everyone's story. You know, we just gotta make Hollywood more proactive and inclusive. Hollywood should be more inclusive, and I agree that we got to get out there. But you got to take care of home first. When there are more movies coming out of Hollywood that are black driven, more than 3%, then I can be on the bandwagon for others. But you got to take care of home first, like they say on the airplane. You got to, before you give to the baby, you got to take some oxygen for yourself.
Exactly.
So we have to save our own before we think about trying to preserve others, because we're all in this together. And trust me, every community has a station, and they're pushing for their material to be heard and seen as well. And I'm on that team. I'm on the team inclusive.
So you have some huge guest stars that's coming up on Family Time this season, because y'all had some great guest stars on this show. Some of the people who's going to walk through the doors this season, can you give us a little nugget, give us a key?
Oh yes, I mentioned Cool D. We've got Wesley Jonathan tonight, ladies. Now I know you all saw Roll Bounce. Firstly, he's a kid to me. But after I saw Roll Bounce, honey, and he plays Sweetness. Now, I know you probably can't relate, Robert.
No.
You can relate to that, the roller skating experience. That's us all day, too.
Exactly.
So Wesley's going to be on tonight. And who else? Oh, Clayton. Clayton might as well be a series regular. He's the husband of Tangerine, Martin Thomas now. And they're like my favorite still life couple. They're so fun. And Clayton is a major part of tonight's episode. It's about your class reunion. So every episode on this series has something that you can relate to. We do episodes about going to Vegas. It may not be Vegas, but you can relate to the family trip somewhere.
Exactly. And being in the vehicle with those relatives that you really don't want to be in a vehicle with.
Exactly. And all of the stuff that transpires. So tonight, if you missed your own class reunion, which I missed mine, you can tune in and kind of like vicariously experience it through Omar and Angel.
I miss mine too. We're in the same boat. It's a sad moment. It's real sad.
I personally wouldn't mind going back to my high school, just to stay with that to the young people, because that's what it's all about. The people, we mostly probably missed our class reunion because we didn't really deal with the people in the class, and the people we dealt with, we still deal with to this day. So, I would love to go back to my school and give back, but, hey, one day.
It will happen. So, what is some of the other things that we can expect to see from you aside from Family Time? Because I know you got some more projects coming down the pipeline.
Oh, that is so good. Yes, there's one, I'm teasing it, and I know you all hate when actors do this, but there's something coming out you guys got to watch out for that you are going to love that I'm doing. I can't tell you what it is yet, but just watch it. When it comes out, I'll come back and we will laugh and have a good time. But it's top secret. It's one of those. And the thing I can talk about is NCIS LA. I'm doing an episode with my girl, Nia Long. If you didn't know she was on that show, now you know. She's just been made a series regular. So I come on and I get to play around. And this will be the first time we get to work on the same show since Friday. So
wow.
It's fun for us. And if you're not watching the show, it's the one with LL Cool J on it. And me and LL kind of have a little love thing they're teasing on the show. So my episode, he saved her life. So you guys want to watch it. It's really, really cute. I love it. So I'm watching it now. So if I'm watching it, you guys should be watching it.
Well, for the ladies, I know the ladies want to see LL. Me personally, my eye candy on the show. My eye candy is gonna be you and me alone. It's you and me alone. We got, we need to see some shapely women. Shapely women. The key word is shapely women.
And Mia and I appreciate shapely women because we are both mommies now. And Mia, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1, 2, 2. 2 times. 3 times. She has 2 boys. She has 2 boys. And and I have 1 boy. So we appreciate that you call us shapely because we are not fit women by far. We are women of a certain age, and we carry it well. If I must say so myself, because I'm probably one of the only ones who will say so. Thank you. I'll say thank you. Quit while I'm ahead.
Is a beautiful thing when you start seeing the different types of black men, the different types of black women. You start, because the good thing about television over the years, and this is something that I really want the listeners to understand. When you think of African American television, when you think of shows that started it, like Julia in the 60s, and then you fast forward to the 70s with the Jeffersons and Good Times and That's My Mama. Then the 80s you had the Cosby Show and A Different World. Then Martin in the 90s. Now you have grown folks in Family Time now. You're seeing a graduation. You're seeing that graduation of styles. You're seeing shows where a black couple can be rich, like the Jeffersons. You can see upper middle class, like the Cosbys. You can see working class, like Rock. It's so many different shows, and I don't think a lot of our youth really go back and really notice how we've graduated and how we still need to graduate.
Okay, yes.
So it is so important, and it's such an honor that you are part of that movement. It is a beautiful thing that you're a part of that movement. So
I am honored that you see me as a part of that movement, and I am honored that I guess I kind of am, and I want to be more of a part of that movement. Now that I get it, now that I get that I'm a part of that movement, because I got in the game at 21, so it was not. I'm so sorry, I'm not the doctor. So it was not when I first started. I didn't get it like that. It was just what I do. That's all I knew how to do. It was my dream to do it, and I did it. And I didn't give back as much as I do now. I go back to my college and I talk to the kids. I talk to the kids and teach the babies at my son's school in Pasadena. So I'm very thankful to be a part of that movement, and I'm glad that you see me as a part of that. That means a lot to me.
And we can get to see more of you on Bounce TV, on Family Time. My fans want to hear it. My fans got to hear it.
One?
You got it.
You ain't got to lie, Rob.
So definitely download the Bounce TV app or check your local listings for Bounce TV's hit show Family Time. It is the one, the only, Paula J. Parker. Is on the Hip Hop Pharmacy. Give us your social media because people need to follow you. They just need to follow you.
I'm at PJAI Parker, and that's on Instagram and on Twitter. And thank you so much for having me. This has been a fun interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're so educated. Educated people.
Have a good one.
And that was Paula J. Parker from the hit show on Bounce TV, Family Time. You can check out the new season of Family Time tonight on Bounce TV. Check your local listings for times and station. Or if you don't get Bounce TV on your satellite or cable provider, download Bounce TV's app on the Google Play Store from Apple iTunes. That was Paula J. Parker. Beautiful woman, beautiful woman. This is the Hip Hop Pharmacy, and I am your host, Rather Reflex, with this abbreviated show because, yeah, I'm a little under the weather, a little sick, a little achy, a little raw, but I'm going to make sure you get those interviews. I'm going to make sure you get them. But without any further ado, this is the Hip Hop Pharmacy's interview with Paula J. Parker. You can hear this interview in its entirety tomorrow on the Hip Hop Pharmacy on a full-length show. But I gotta take me some vitamins. Some vitamins. So, I'm leaving the show right now. Y'all gonna catch me normally every Monday through Thursday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on Spreaker.com or on your Spreaker app. You can download the Spreaker app on any smart device from the Google Play Store, from Apple iTunes. You can also follow this show on all our social media at Facebook.com/The Hip Hop Pharmacy, Instagram.com/The Hip Hop Pharmacy, and Twitter.com/The Hip Hop Pharmacy. I got to get me some orange juice, but I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Alright? It's been one. Let's go.